Absolutely, Mr. McCray. I am here. Can you hear me this morning?
Loud and clear, superstar.
Wow. Thank you so much for hosting this call for me this morning, and thank you definitely for that phenomenal introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, team, Global One team, I want to say happy Saturday. It is truly my pleasure, my honor to be able to share with you on this call this morning to really just get on here in order to help you to take your business to the next level. One thing that I could truly say from being in the industry for over 20 years is that Nate and I have truly learned some basic principles in order to be able to create a strong foundation. And so that's one of the things that I wanted to come on this call this morning and be able to talk with each and every one of you, that there may be somebody on this call today that may just be getting started here at TLC. There may be some people that have been a part of Total Life Changes for quite a while, and you're just trying to figure out, okay, what do I need to do in order to create this foundation, in order to get myself to the next level? And one thing that I could truly say is that it takes certain activities that you have to be willing to do in order to create the success that you're looking for over here at TLC. One thing that I could say that we are very serious about is creating a solid and a strong foundation, because it's not about hitting the rank. It's not about just becoming that one-check wonder where you end up hitting a rank once or twice, and then you never requalify, because at the end of the day, if this thing is done properly and it's built correctly, you're going to find yourself not just growing over here in TLC, but you're going to also find yourself hitting the ranks and creating the paychecks on a consistent basis. So there's certain activities, because if you're not willing to do the basic activities, we talk about it all the time, getting back to the basics, because this thing is really not rocket science. It's really just a matter of getting very good at doing the same things over and over and over again. One thing that I've been sharing with our team a lot lately, and it's just rolling off of my mouth on a daily basis, is that you cannot participate in the promise without practicing the principles. And so in an industry, in a business like what we do over here at TLC, there are certain foundational principles that you have to be willing to do on a daily basis in order to get this thing done. See, it's real simple. And because it's simple, sometimes it can be so simple that people make the decision not to do it. But you got to know that everything over here is simple and it's duplicatable. And when you begin to implement that into your business, and you get up every single day realizing and knowing that this is truly a business, and the fact that really it's 90% mental and only 10% skill. So if you get your mindset right to knowing that, you know what, I got to grow. Because one thing that I could truly say, from my standpoint, and the reason why we failed, or I failed, we failed together, because we win together, we fail together. We are truly a team over here in the McCray household. But it was because of fear. It was because of the fact that I had to grow. I had to develop myself. And a lot of times we don't really realize that this business, you got to raise your belief level to a level to where you have never believed before. And so you got to do whatever it takes that's going to raise that belief level. So it means that you're going to have to pick up some books. It means that you're going to have to listen to some audios. It means that you're going to have to put yourself on a 21-day plan so that it becomes a habit, so that now every single day it's a part of your lifestyle. And it becomes that lifestyle to where now it's automatic and it's just happening, because when you get yourself to the point of knowing and your vision is now very, very clear, that's when things are going to begin to happen in your business. But it's a system, too, that you got to pay attention to. So I'm going to talk about some of the basic principles, the system that you want to begin to implement, because system simply stands for save yourself some time, energy, and money. See, we got to know and understand that this is network marketing. It's not net fit, right? Not net watch, network, which means we got to get up. We got to leverage our net. That's the people that we know, and we have got to have the mindset of going to work every single day. See, this thing is about consistency, team. It's about getting up every day and doing some activity that's now going to help us to move forward. But sometimes in a business like this, we find ourselves doing busy work that is not advancing us to the next level. So if you're at that point in your business, or maybe you're just getting started and you're doing some things and it's not quite going the way that you want it to go, remember the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and not getting some results. So that means that you need to pay attention to the activities that you're doing so that now you can assess what you're doing and maybe tweak some things in order to get the results that you're looking for. So a couple things. Once you actually begin to leverage your network, the people that you know, okay, there's going to come a time in which the people that you immediately know, they're not going to exist, okay? You're going to go through them very, very quickly. One thing that Nate and I had when we came over here to TLC was the biggest NFL list. No friends left. Imagine joining opportunity after opportunity for 20 years and never having any success and calling up the same people and saying, hey, I found it. But the thing is you got to know that it's still a part of the process that you still have to reach out to your list because, again, it's a principle. And a lot of times this is where people end up dropping the ball, and I think that it's mainly because of fear. I know for me it was fear. And so over here you got to know that you got to let go of fear. You also have got to become no-proof. Don't worry about the no's. All of these no's that you're getting, they're all a part of your process because behind those no's, guess what? There's going to be some yeses. So don't worry about the no's. But over here, you got to know that every single day, you got to work on you. You have to become the person that you are looking for. So if you're just getting started, or if you have been in here for a while, and maybe you're not attracting the people that you want to attract in your business, or maybe you're bringing in people who, are not moving, or maybe it's just not the right ones that you're looking for, then I want to say today, take the time to look at you. What do you need to do in order to become the person that you're looking for? When I realized that I could not sit back and pretend, yes, I said pretend to be doing certain things, and I realized that I could not have fear and not be the person that wanted to get out on the street and actually go out and meet people. When I began to realize that I had to work on McCray, that's when things began to explode in my business, in my life. So ask yourself, can I lose 5 pounds in 5 days? See, the number one industry that we're a part of is weight loss. It's not the only industry. But imagine becoming a product of the product. If you can lose 5 pounds in 5 days, lose it. Coach Stormy says all the time, you cannot sell a dream looking like a nightmare. But guess what? If you don't need to lose weight, you have to fall in love with something over here. You have to lead with your own personal testimony. See, that's all I did 17 months ago. See, when we got started over here at TLC, we just thought we were joining another opportunity, just being real with all of you team members on this call this morning. We didn't believe that this was going to be the opportunity that was literally going to set our family financially free. So we said yes. We borrowed Coach Stormy's belief, and we got in the midst of this movement. And it wasn't until I began to lose the weight, and even then, I still didn't believe that this company was going to explode. But what did it for me, I'll be honest with you, was I went to a women's event, and I began to share that I had lost 8 pounds in 6 days, and honestly, I was confused. I had 2 products on the table. I'm at an event, and I got 2 products, the last company and TLC products. But when I saw that little pack of tea, which at that time we were selling it for $10 a pack, which we paid for it, multiplied to $400 in less than 20 minutes because everybody lined up and they wanted to see, that's what did it for me. And so what I began to do was lead with my personal testimony. So you got to know that you want to get yourself a 30-day story. What are you going to do in order to create a 30-day story? So if you can lose some weight, lose some weight. If you just want to get healthy, get healthy. Have yourself a testimony. And then once you begin to do that, that's when things are going to explode because you have to lead with you. And when you become a product of the product, Nate likes to call it pop. You got to pop this thing. Become a product of the product. That's when you're going to get the passion, on the inside of you that's now going to flow out of you, because you got to get confident in this thing. So if you're not a product of the product and you don't have your own personal testimony, your own personal relationship with our products, then the energy is not going to flow from you. So you got to know that this is key things. When you come over here, being on the proper auto ship is very key. Sometimes I'm talking to people in our organization, and within that conversation, I'll find out that they took their auto ship and sold it to a customer. Really? Wrong answer. Your auto ship is for personal use. Let's establish that, okay? So now if you are over here and you just want to get a check, 40 QV, absolutely. TLC is going to cut you a check. If you just want to go director, 80 qualifying volume, 2 products, that's going to get you that director. But if you're serious about building a business over here at TLC, you should have so many different testimonies on these products. You should definitely have yourself set up on 120 in qualifying volume coming into your household every single month. And that's for you, not for you to go out and sell your tea to your neighbor or to your coworker. That product that comes into your house every month on auto ship is for you. So how can you do it? Get you some tea, detox, whether you need to lose weight or not. Nate, everybody knows Nate. You see his size. He has no need to lose weight, but he still drinks the IASO tea for detox purposes. So the tea is a great product to have coming in on the auto ship. The NutriBurst, now that you're detoxing or losing weight, put your nutrients back into your body. Become a product of the product. Maybe you're somebody who needs that energy boost, or perhaps that mood change. You're not the nicest person to be around. Get you some NRG coming into your house so that you can get that mental clarity so that you can stay focused on what you want to accomplish over here at TLC. So your auto ship is very important. It's not something that you play with, and know that it's for you to consume those products. Now, once we got the auto ship taking place and coming into the household every single month, you got to set some goals. See, being good at goal setting is really going to be something that takes you to the next level here at TLC, because we all know that one of our first goals when we get started here is to get ourselves binary qualified. You need one on the left and one on the right within 72 hours. We like to say 2 in 72 hours. Your next goal after you get your binary is to go director. That's 1,000 on the left and 1,000 on the right. So now how are you going to do that? Well, through activity and by creating some certain goals, by writing them down. See, it's not enough to say, I'm going director. I'm going to get it done. No, put a date on it. So if you have in your mindset, whether it's director, executive, regional, national, all the way up, put a date on it. And now when you say, you know what, I'm going to be a director, I don't know, by April 15th, 2016, now you have put that out into the atmosphere, and your activities and your energy are now going to drive you towards creating that goal. Okay? Not only that, but as you're setting your goals, attach some income to it. What do you want to accomplish financially? If you say that I want to go out and I want to make $1,000 this week, what are you going to do in order to create that $1,000? Well, you break down that goal. We know there's 7 days in a week, so that's roughly about $150 a day. So now you have this 150 planning in your mind. You know that you want to accomplish it in 7 days because you put a date on it, and now your activities are going to line up in order to help you to accomplish those goals. So it may be that you're going to get you some retail customers. It may be that you say, you know what, I'm going to get me a new binary if you already got a binary, and I'm going to find me 2 $500 packs to put $500 in my pocket. I'm halfway towards reaching my goal. So just know that it's not enough to just put it out there, but you gotta make sure you write it down. We talk about it all the time, images and emotions. And the fact of the matter is you got to be able to write it down in order to now be able to visualize it so that now you can actually accomplish it. So now you have these goals, so what are you going to do next? You got to get into activity mode, because doing the right activity is now what's going to help you to accomplish these goals. See, one thing about our compensation plan that we all want to realize, team, is that retail unlocks the compensation plan. So once you unlock it, the key to the compensation plan is now breaking directors. Okay, so you got to go director, and then your goal is to now help other people go director. And when you focus on helping people to go director, you're going to find that you're going to now create a strong foundation, because you're helping some other people achieve that goal. And see, now they're solid directors. I'm not saying, a whole bunch of products, but when it's solid, now you've created these leaders, and what's going to happen is that now you're going to look up, and you have a solid business growing down below you. So now what are some of the activities that you got to do in order to accomplish this? Well, first and foremost, you got to know that being consistent is the key. Okay, you can't just make the decision that today I'm going to connect with 5 people, and now I'm not going to touch TLC until next week sometime. Or you can't decide today that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a post out, but now my next post won't be till Monday. No, it's all about consistency, because know that people are paying attention. People are watching. When it comes time to the internet and social media, it's not about the likes. Trust me, they are paying attention, because right now, Nate and I are recruiting people into our organization who are reaching out to us, who are telling me, okay, I've seen enough. I've been watching you for a year. What do I need to do in order to get in? Never liked anything, never commented on anything, but you got to know that people are paying attention, even when it comes time to people around you. If you're at work, if you're saying, I'm in a weight loss business, I have lose 5 pounds in 5 days, but you're not changing your image, people are paying attention. Or if you're saying that you got the best health products around the world, and you're sick all the time because you're not a product of the product, people are paying attention, okay? So you got to be consistent. And repetition is key. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Get good at doing these certain activities, and I guarantee you, you will create a strong foundation. So now the first thing is you got to make sure when you get started over here, plugging in is key. See, we have to know and understand that this is a business. If you build this and treat TLC like it's a business, you're going to get paid like it's a business. But if you treat it like it's a hobby, guess what? You're going to get paid like it's a hobby. And I think that sometimes, because we don't get up and go to a brick and mortar, every single day, sometimes people get into TLC and they don't treat it like it's a real business. But this is a viable business in which you can get into position with and not have to have a whole lot of overhead and a whole lot of money to get involved in it. It's a real business. So you got to wake up with the mindset every day that I'm a business owner. I'm a boss. And now when you wake up with that mindset, your activity is going to line up. So plugging in, that's first and foremost. When you get started over here and you're building this business along the way, you have got to make sure that you are plugged in. That is key. Plugging in means this. It means getting on the training call. Congratulations for all of you that woke up this morning and said, you know what, I am going to tune in. So you got to plug into your upline leaders. What do they have going on? The opportunity calls that take place. You got to make a decision to take responsibility of your own business. Meaning, you may need to jump on YouTube and watch some videos. You may need to log into the back office and click on resources and find out more about the business. Learn the back office, more about the product. Remember, take ownership of your business. See, now the great part about this is that because we're in the industry that we're in, this is your business, so you're not out there by yourself, because we build as a team. But the ones that are winning are the ones that are taking ownership of their business, and they're not sitting back and they're not waiting on their sponsor, or they're not waiting on their upline leader to do certain things. They're taking control and now taking responsibility and getting in to build their business. So when you plug in, the more you plug in, the more you grow in TLC, the more confident you're going to become. You see, in our organization, we have opportunity calls every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. How many times a week do Nate and I get on these calls as national leaders? Every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Not only are we on these calls, team, we have our notebook out, our pen and paper out, because we're listening, we're paying attention, we're learning new stories. So you got to become a master storyteller. If you're not in the atmosphere, because once you get your own story, you got to have some other stories to begin to share, because you never know who you're going to connect with, and when that story may be a blessing to change the life of somebody. So every single night at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, even at the level that we are at, we stop. And we put our earpiece in our ear, and we are listening to the calls because we're plugged in, and we're paying attention, and we're learning, we're growing, because the more it gets on the inside, the more it's going to come out. That's why Nate can sit here and tell you, if you cut me, I bleed TLC, I bleed green. Absolutely, because I've taken ownership of my business to be able to grow and to learn the different things. And so that's a part of plugging in. You got to make sure that you're attending the events. If you got a weekly meeting in your area, you got to plug in. But it's not enough to just plug in if you're not plugging the people that you are bringing into this business in. You got to make sure that when you bring somebody into this business, and now you have the responsibility to share this information with them. Now, I say all the time, it's easier to run with one than to drag 1,000. So that's the reason why when someone joins your team, identify why they're getting started in TLC. What is their why? Because if someone tells you, you know what, I just want to focus on retail, that's awesome. Let them focus on retail. But now you have identified that person does not need your attention to go out and retail our products. So now when you have that person that says, you know what, I want to replace some income, or I want to make $1,000 a week. Okay, there's certain activities that now they have to do. But if they're not willing to do them, keep it moving. Make him your best friend, okay? Keep it moving. You cannot drag people over here, okay? So when you realize that and you got them plugged in, you just keep sending them the information. You know, that's all you can do. But the last thing that you want to do over here is create an island. Don't become the end-all, be-all for your team, especially if you're new to this. Don't be the blind leading the blind. See, that little island could be the kiss of death for your organization when people are not plugged in. I find it real funny when I'm talking to different people and I find out that there's people having team calls and they're not even a director, or they're a director and they having team calls. Seriously? What are you teaching people? Okay? When that director has some leaders somewhere along the line, okay, a regional or national, somewhere along the line that now has the information, so you got to connect yourself to where are you trying to go? Because what are you talking about? You can't just get in and begin to create these islands and think that you're the end-all, be-all. And what's going to end up happening is you're going to find that there's no duplication happening in your organization. You're going to wonder why. You don't have the success yet. I'm going to be honest with you. Nate and I, we were national leaders before we even had a team call. Ask our team. It wasn't until the Atlanta event last year, July, where we started having consistent weekly team calls with our organizations. Yeah, we would gather the troops. We would have something every now and again just so that they can hear our voice. But we were plugged in solely to our leader, 100%. Because the thing about it is you start having all this, that's considered busy work. I'm just going to let you know, it's considered busy work. You start having all these different team calls and all these different things, it's too much. And so now people think that because they're on all these different calls all week long, it's not income-producing activity. Remember, income-producing activity. So I don't know where that came from. That's not where I was going with that. But anyway, that island, don't create that island, okay? So now let me talk about massive action, okay? Because in a business like this, you have got to know that it's going to take you really getting out and taking massive action with your business, meaning that you have to expose. This is the opportunity where you do not want to be quiet. this is the opportunity where you want to have the mindset that, you know what, I am going to dominate my entire marketplace, which means I'm going to have to do some things. It means I'm going to have to, number one, start with my list, the people that I know. Most of the time, people fail in a business like this because they never create the list. I'm very passionate about talking about the list and about not just bringing people into our organization, but getting their list done and moving them along. Why? Because I was once that person that failed at building the list. See, I'm so passionate about what comes out of me because everything that you all may be going through or have been through in 20 years, trust me, I've been through it. So I know what it's like to get into a business and never build a list because I'm afraid to call people. But you got to know that that's a principle that you have to practice over here in order to take TLC to the next level. You have got to create your list. So if you have not physically, and I don't mean think of people in your mind and now all of a sudden put them in front of the information. If you have not physically taken the time to create your list of at least 50 business builders and at least 50 customers, do it today. It's a principle. And you can't expect other people to join your organization and to do something that you never have done. So let's start with that list because that's how you're going to expose people. Okay? Eliminate the fear. Do what you got to do in order to believe, in order to overcome that fear so that now you can reach out to people. Second, you got to lead with your results. That's how you're going to expose your results. When you begin to get your own personal testimony and you have that passion about it, your results, that's going to help you to expose. The third thing is we have to retail these products immediately. That should be on your mindset as soon as you get started in TLC, and that should be a daily mindset to get these products into the hands of others because customer acquisition is key. You do not want to become a recruiter, and never get you any customers, solid customers over here at TLC. You need some customers, okay? The next thing, the home parties. You got to implement. All of these are ways for you to take massive action to create that strong foundation. The home parties, virtual grand openings, the VGOs, these are the private calls that take place. You know, once you create that list, as your leader, your sponsor, your upline leader who can help you with these, will now do a private call for you. Hitting the streets. This was something I did not like to do. I was shy. Okay? I used to be like that person jumping in double dutch. I'm going to go. And then I would have to literally force myself out there to do it. But we got to hit the streets with our products in hand. Lead with the product always. Social media is another key. But I think a lot of times in a business like this, we think that just posting on social media is the end-all, be-all. No, this is an added tool. This business is about relationships and building relationships, which means we got to have some personal contact with people. So even when you're promoting on social media, you got to know how to quickly pull that relationship offline. See, in the beginning, I learned. In the beginning, I used to be like, okay, let me just send this information. No, when someone reaches out to us, oh, no, we're having a conversation. I'm building a relationship. I want to know who this person is. Are you just interested in the product, or could you possibly be a potential business partner? I'm creating that relationship. So now these are some of the things that's now going to help you to expose this business and get the results so that you create that solid foundation. So let me talk about this list a little bit because I know within our organization, a lot of times, people are reaching out to us because they really don't know how to reach out to people. And so the list is something that's very important. And when someone gets started in our organization, we always have a personal conversation with them so that they know exactly what to do with this list. Because, it's very easy to blow your list. And it's simply because a lot of times people don't know what to say. But the thing about it is so much training out there on social media. So, it's a lot out there on YouTube and different trainings that we have here within TLC to where you can actually figure out how to expose, how to contact and invite in front of the information. But you know what? When you're reaching out to that list and you have created that list of contacts, when you call someone, you got to know that it's all about posture. If you don't remember anything else, you got to remember posture. And posture is not cockiness. It's being confident. So you're calling somebody with some confidence because you got something, okay? You have something that you know they need in their life, whether it's the product or whether it's the opportunity. And so when you're reaching out to people about the opportunity, you have got to be able to instill some type of fear law, okay? Again, confidence, not cockiness, meaning you're going somewhere. They may not know what in the world you're talking about, but, hey, I thought about you. So you got to call people, and you have to be a different you. I was talking to a young lady in our organization the other day who had just got started. Literally, she clicked the link, got in with a $1,500 pack. She called me up, and I was traveling, and she had her list already done. So I said, okay, we're going to talk about this list because we immediately booked her private BGO, her launch call. And I said, we're going to talk about this list as soon as I get back into town. Well, what ended up happening was she began to call people on her list. But she was smart. When she got, so many no's, she stopped because we had not talked. She was very new. She had just got in. New to network marketing, she didn't know. So when I talked to her, she said, I thought I got a lot of no's. And so I asked her, I said, well, what are you saying? And she went on to let me know. She said, well, I'm calling people and I'm letting them know, I just started this new business opportunity and, I'm having a call and I wanted to see if they would be available to get on. Stop. Wrong. We don't beg, sell, plead, anything. People don't like to be sold. Business opportunity, no. Don't use those two words, okay? And so immediately, I was able to go over some basic things with her. And we did her launch call on Thursday, and she passed out the call. And so you got to know that when you're reaching out to your list, a couple things. You want to be in a hurry, you want to give some value, and then you want to take it away. And you should not be on the phone with anybody really longer than a minute. You got a whole list of people. And don't stop at 50, because a lot of times people will stop at 50, and you know way more than 50 people. Remember, massive exposure. You want to tell the world, because even though they may tell you no, those no's mean not right now. At some point in time, this opportunity, these products are going to come back their way, and guess what? You have already planted that seed in their life, and they're going to remember, wait a minute, I think it was such and such that told me something about some lose 5 pounds in 5 days or a little pack of green tea or something. So remember that. So now you gotta establish some things. So you be in a hurry, you give some value, you take it away. You should not be on the call any more than a minute, because if you're on the phone talking to people any longer, you begin to throw up on people. And remember, less is best. So you want to find out, do they have a minute? Hey, I just want to take a seat. Do you have a minute? You got a second. Okay, you've established that you have their undivided attention for a minute. Great, I don't have a whole lot of time. I'm not going to keep you long. You just established something else. It's not the time to catch up on the family, this and that, because you got a whole lot of people to call. Whether you've made a decision to put 10 people on an opportunity call, remember, this is a numbers game. So in order to get them 10, you're probably going to have to call about 50 people. I'm just going to be honest with you. Okay? So now you don't have a whole lot of time. Okay, so now you've established that. And now that they're listening to you, they're paying attention, say, can I ask you a serious question? Pause. Don't say nothing else. They're going to say they're listening now like, what? Yeah, of course. So now you got to leave with something powerful. What are you doing tonight? At 10 p.m., that could put an extra $1,000 in your pocket. If you're calling your business list, customers are easy. But if you're calling your business list, what are you doing tonight at 10 o'clock? That could put an extra $1,000 in your pocket. And let them answer. And now you simply, or you can leave with, are you making enough money right now? Are you making more money than you can spend? Or you can leave with our flagship. Do you or anybody you know want to lose 5 pounds in 5 days and make an extra $250 to $1,000 a week? You know your list, so you got to cater your question, your conversation towards the person that you're talking to. So you know if you're talking to somebody that's already accustomed to making 6 figures a year and you know, and life is good, you know, maybe you need to talk paying off houses and cars. Or maybe it's somebody that you respect. And you know what? May not be interested in the opportunity side, but you know they like to help a whole lot of people. So you gauge your question towards that. And so now you simply begin to share testimony. Oh, my goodness, have you heard of the IACLT? Have you heard of TLC? I like to say TLC. People think it's the group. No, not TLC, the group. Total Life Changes. Now I got my own personal testimony. Oh, my gosh, I was able to lose 20 pounds in 31 days. I was able to lose 5 pounds in 5 days. I can't believe you haven't heard about this. Now you edify. Edification is key. So now here I'm working with. I've been able to partner myself with some powerful people. You can edify whoever you're working with. Me, I'm working with this young lady. Her and her husband was homeless a little over a year ago. $500,000 ring earners in less than 1 year's time. You know what? They have a goal. They're going to help 100,000 families. I've been identified as one. And you know what? What are you doing tonight at 10 o'clock so you can jump on the list? And I thought about you. Short, sweet, to the point. Great. Grab a pen. Take down this number. This call is going to pack out. Before I give you this VIP access code, I want to make sure that you're going to be able to get on because I only got room for like 15 people, 10 people. Okay, great. Listen, you want to jump on early because this call is going to lock out, and I don't want you to get locked out. Fear loss. So now you call them. It's a different view. They're like, and see, the thing about it is because you call them and you didn't give them too much information, you're leaving them like, oh, my goodness, I don't know what she talking or he talking about, but I feel like if I don't get on this call tonight, I'm about to miss something. Now, everybody's not going to be that easy. There's going to be some people that's going to say, well, what is this? You know, is this one of those pyramid things? Okay. Make sure you educate yourself, especially if you're new to network marketing, what a pyramid is, okay? Because the pyramid structure is everything in life. The government, the family, you know, everything, work, okay? That's the pyramid structure. But know the difference between a pyramid scheme, okay, and network marketing, direct sales. It's a whole other subject, but I'm gonna share with you because I know that this is something that comes up with people who may be new to the industry. A pyramid scheme is the transfer of money with no product. We don't have that. We do direct sales. So what direct sales is, they have decided to move the middleman out. Instead of Total Life Changes, Mr. Jack Allen deciding to go out and spend all these millions of dollars on billboards, on commercials, we're the commercial. And they pay us. So that's how you handle that. Okay? But for that person, what is this? Listen, hey, this man may not be for you. You know, I thought about you. You know, yes or no. Tell me yes, tell me no, tell me quick, I got to go. Now, if they say, yeah, give me the number. Great, grab a pen. Here you go. Give them the number. Now, if they keep going on and on, well, I don't know, you know, at the same time my TV show come on. Remember, we're not looking for everybody. You know what? No worries. I thought about you, but this man may not be for you. We'll chat later. Click, disconnect. Keep it moving. Now they send on the other line like, what just happened? So you know that it's all about posture, which is confidence, not cockiness, and now being able to really instill that fear loss to the person where they feel like they have got to get in front of this information. So that's how you reach out to people. I don't care whether you're driving them to a call or whether you're having a private call. That's how you reach out to them. Now, if you're out and you're hitting the streets, because we always say all the time that you want to make a friend today. How are you going to make a friend today? Real simple. Build a relationship. Don't walk up to people and say, hey, who do you know that wants to lose 5 pounds in 5 days and make an extra $250 to $1,000 this week? No. Create a relationship. Start a conversation with people. Remember, it's not about you. What's in it for them, with them? What's in it for me, with them? Okay, so you want to find out a little bit. You're going to have a conversation with that person to build a relationship. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Dale Carnegie, awesome book. Okay, so now you're out and you're starting a conversation. For instance, I was in the mall the other day. I needed an eyeliner. Okay? So I started a conversation with this young lady about getting me a new eyeliner. And so we're talking. By the time our conversation was over, I knew about her relationship. I found out we got the same birthday. We had a conversation. I made a friend today. And then as I'm closing out everything, I said, so let me ask you, have you heard of this IASO tea? No, what's that? Lose 5 pounds in 5 days? Oh, my goodness, let me tell you about it. So now I'm the professional, so I'm pulling out my card, which has my personal testimony on it. And so now I created this relationship, so when I followed up with her, it was easy. I'm not calling her back and talking about the tea immediately. Now I have a friend. So I'm like, hey, this is Pam. Remember me? You gave me that eyeliner you gave me. Amazing. It works just like you said. I made a friend. We got a relationship. So whether you're in the grocery store, it may be a conversation about something that somebody's buying, or you're in the store, start a conversation. Make that friend today. And remember that after you make that friend, your fortune is in your follow-up. A lot of times people drop the ball because they go out and they make all these friends, along the way, and they never follow up. I'm passionate about it. Why? Because I was once you, if you're on the line listening and you don't follow up, I would go out and meet people all the time, sample, do this, and don't be afraid. That's another thing. Don't be afraid to plant a seed, to give away a pack of tea. Okay? But I used to be that person. I would go out and meet all these people once and just think about it. It was the craziest thing. When you think about it, I'm already afraid. I'm out there, and I am finally making a decision to actually have a conversation with somebody and then not follow up. What kind of sense does that make? Now, because I got the fear to pick up the phone and dial their number back. Your fortune is in your follow-up, team. We got to follow up. So that's how you make that friend today. Create that relationship. Retail is strong. That's the next activity that you want to make sure that you are implementing. That massive action, that list, making that friend. Retail. You got to retail. You should immediately have you 10 to 20 customers. Get you some trial customers. Let them know that hey, I just attached myself with some life-changing products. Do you need help with some energy? What vitamin are you currently using? If there was one thing that you could change about your health, what would it be? And tell them, I would love for you to become one of my first preferred customers, one of my trial customers. Can I count on your support? See, a lot of times when you're reaching out to friends and family, when you say words like that, they're going to support you. And you let them know that, hey, this can benefit you. So get you some customers. Establish you a customer base. Always lead with the product. So retail, remember, that's the key to unlocking the compensation plan. And you want to have customer acquisition. The home parties, that's the next activity. Home parties. If you have not done your own home party, you need to set it up today. Know that a lot of times I think that people aren't doing the home parties because they have this fear, maybe because they don't feel like they can do the home party. But you got to know that the home parties, it's all about getting some friends together. They don't have to be huge. 5 or more qualified people in the room, so that now you can introduce your product. The goal of a home party is not to recruit, it's to get you some customers. But we have to know that the home parties are the foundation of our industry. Businesses like this were built in the living room, not in the meeting rooms, not at these big events. They are built in the living room. And so the more home parties, see, all these activities that I'm talking about, all of these are duplicatable. So the more that you have these activities flowing in your organization, that's how you're going to create this strong foundation that you want here at TLC, so that, again, those ranks, those checks are continuing to come in every single week. So now the home party, you should definitely have that home party should be booked within the first 72 hours of you getting started. And so when you do your home party, you want to set a budget, for inventory, because people like to buy what they see. So what are you going to have in your inventory? Well, you may be listening this morning and saying, well, Pam, I took my lab to get in this, and I don't have the money for products. Well, make some tea, get some tea, okay? Make some tea. And if you can have you some NRG, but tea, number one, get your little fruit, invite some friends over, take orders if you have to, eliminate all excuses. But if you can invest in some inventory, get you some inventory so that people can buy it right there on the spot, because that's your goal, to get you some customers. There are some products for those of you that you want to, that are creating your inventory. You may want to know, okay, what do I need immediately to focus on? Have some tea. You got to have tea. ISO tea. Get you some NRG in your inventory. See, all of these are immediate gratification products that now you can have that wow effect, right there in your party. And when people come into your party, make sure they're not drinking little Dixie cups of tea. You want 8 ounces or more. Keep giving them tea. You want them to use the restroom. If not before they leave your house, then definitely when they go home. Emu oil, anybody in pain, you're going to get a testimony right there on the spot. The Nutriburst is always good. Some people feel it immediately, but it's a liquid vitamin. You share the effects. You share testimonies. Master storytellers. 3D fiber lashes. That's another powerful product, ladies, that you can use. It's going to get that wow factor. For me, because of sanitary purposes, I'm sure some of you can figure it out. But for me, I just show up at wow parties with no lashes because I don't have any. So I show them how I can go from no lashes to eyelashes in a matter of seconds. Obviously, to strike up in love, if you can get at least, a sample, because it's a conversation piece. So always know that when you do these home parties, you have got to, bam, book a meeting from a meeting. Get you some customers. Make it all about the retail side of it. You're going to end up finding some recruits. But remember, it's all about getting you some customers from them home parties. So that's another activity. And you don't want to become the whole home party king and queen, meaning you're the one that's always the host. You're hosting all the parties. So as you're bringing people in, you're going to say, okay, well, I'm having a party, Monday, Tuesday. They're all at my house. No, because what's going to end up happening is you are going to quickly find yourself by yourself. Trust me, been there, done that. Okay? So your goal is to have you do the home party, you get new people, and now you all have your calendars, your 8x10 calendars out, and you're booking a party. I remember having a conversation with Mr. Kenny Lloyd, and he told me, he said, I got 7,000 some odd parties taking place today. Where was he? At an event, at none of them. Duplication. Okay? That's your goal, is to do these activities and now getting them duplicating in your organization. That's key. So if you haven't done your home party, you want to make sure that you book it. And don't think that you got to wait for your sponsor or the person that brought you in to come to your house to do it. No, take control. If they don't live there, take control. This business is designed so that you can build this thing by yourself. But you got to be able to plug in to the training, to the system. See, a lot of times people say, well, I want coaching. I want this. I want this. You are getting coaching. This call right here is coaching. The training calls that take place, the opportunity calls, attending events, that's the system. And when you plug in and you implement and you duplicate and you get all these activities, you help the people that's coming in because you've identified their why. You let them know, hey, this is a business. So you can't sit back and expect results if you're not willing to do the work. Then the next thing, the launch calls, the VGOs, the virtual grand openings. You get all these activities duplicated, and I just talked about in your organization. That's what's going to create a solid foundation to where you now are growing and having a real operable business here at TLC. So the virtual grand openings, this is basically grand opening your business. Just like a McDonald's to put up some flags when they got a new location, hey, we're in business. So now let's put up some flags with the people that we know, and let's let them know, hey, listen, I'm in business. I have put my foot here at TLC, and you know what? I'm about to change the entire world with some products. And you know what? Not only am I going to change the entire world with some products, but, hey, I got an opportunity if you're looking for something. So the virtual grand openings, this is something that Nate and I have really been able to implement in our organization, and they get it. There's a reason why we're on the phone every single night during the week. We don't have a voice some of the time. Launch call after launch call after launch call. But one thing we teach our team is don't waste our time. Okay? So if you're willing to create that list and you're willing to reach out and contact so that you now can put 15 to 20 people on a call, absolutely, let's roll with it. That's what the average person can do, 15, 20 people. Yeah, now if somebody put 10, 12 people on a call, are we going to do it? Absolutely. So now this is something that now you could take your list. It's a private call, very personal. There's a psychology that happens on these calls. It's not just a regular opportunity call, but I'm going to tell you, every single time that we do one, people get new customers, people get business partners. So, again, a very powerful activity to implement into your team and making sure that you do one. Get with your plug-in, your sponsor, someone that can help you move you along. You should know your upline at least 3 levels up. So if you join somebody that's new who may not be able to move you along because that would be the blind leading the blind, go up a level. So those are some activities. I know we're running out of time, but I just really wanted to share with all of you there's certain activities that are truly going to help create a strong foundation over here at TLC. It's not rocket science. All of these are basic principles, basic activities that you need duplicating in your organization in order to create this foundation. And once you get these activities, I can't go into it all right now because I can go on and on with the training. But, even as you're doing the activities, don't forget, as I close out, the 3-way calls. You put someone in front of the information, and you may be wondering, well, why are they not getting started? Why are they not getting back with me? Perhaps you need a 3-way call. 3-way call is a whole other training. But that basically is where you're now able to edify the person that you're working with, and now you're able to get your guest on the line with the person that you're working with. And as long as it's somebody that can help you close the deal, again, no blind leading the blind. It could be somebody cross-line. It doesn't even have to be your upline leader, but just somebody who's powerful that can help you close the deal. And so now those 3-way calls are very powerful. And then on top of the 3-way calls, there's something called a lifeline team. Lifelines are going to give life to your organization. It means that now you take the time to introduce that new business partner who just got started. Okay, they got their list and they're ready to rock and roll and they're doing their activities so that now they know that not only do they have you, but they got somebody else that has a vested interest in their success. Teamwork makes the dream work. Nate and I don't have success unless our team has success. So anyway, I'm going to close out this training call this morning. I just want to say, becoming that master promoter also and attending all events that you can get to strong. You got to attend the events right now, everywhere, next week. Where are we headed? Raleigh, North Carolina. Go to globalOneTeam.com. Find out about the different events. TLCRaleigh.com. I believe it's the link for the Raleigh event. And all roads lead to Atlanta, Georgia. If you're serious about this business, you should be running, driving, doing what you got to do in order to attend these different events. These opportunities, these events, they take place for you. So the more you put yourself in the atmosphere, the more you're going to be able to grow. And guess what? Your belief is going to go higher and higher and higher every single time. That was one thing I learned a long time ago. Never miss an event that you qualify for. And so I was that one that where, honestly, even sometimes Nate would look at me like I was crazy. I was like, I have to be there. Wasn't winning financially. Let me correct that. Because I was winning mentally and spiritually and emotionally because I grew. So I don't complain about the challenges and the fact that we didn't win financially for 20 years. Because every single meeting caused me to grow and to develop to the person that I am today. So anyway, all right, everybody have a wonderful, happy Saturday. This training is now coming to an end, and, let's go out. 2016 is truly the year of miracles. It's not a question of are these miracles happening. It's a question of when you make the decision that, you know what, I am going to be the next miracle. I am the miracle. So be blessed and have yourself a phenomenal Saturday. Bye-bye.